if I told you that the greatest destruction you can unleash on those who wronged you doesn't come from anger, confrontation, or even revenge? What if I told you the sharpest weapon you can use is silence? The kind of silence that doesn't show weakness, but control. The kind that doesn't beg, but commands. This is the Stoic way, and if you stay with me until the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to use it to crush those who hurt you without saying a single word. In life, you'll encounter two categories of people: those who genuinely lift you higher, and those who quietly chip away at your foundation. And the ones who harm you, they rarely do it with open aggression. More often, they stab with whispers, betray with fake smiles, manipulate with silence, or pretend to love you while feeding on your downfall. That pain cuts deeper than any blade. It doesn't just bruise your heart, it scars your spirit. You carry it into sleepless nights. It lingers like poison. It burns long after the wound. When people feel that pain, the first instinct is to retaliate, to scream, to expose, to show the world who was guilty and who was innocent. But here's the truth. That reaction is exactly what your enemies crave. They want you emotional, broken, defensive. They want your chaos, because your chaos feeds their ego. But the Stoic path, it rejects this game. The most devastating response is no response at all. Not because you're weak, but because you're untouchable. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Understand what this means. You cannot always control betrayal. You cannot stop gossip. You cannot erase cruelty. But you can control your reaction. And when you choose silence, when you withhold your energy, you starve them of power. You deny them the satisfaction of seeing you shattered. Imagine this. Someone spreads lies about you, abandons you when you're most vulnerable, or mocks your worth. They expect you to collapse. They expect drama. They expect rage. But instead, you do nothing. You don't scream. You don't chase. You don't explain. You vanish into purpose. You redirect every ounce of energy toward building yourself. You train your body. You discipline your mind. You nurture your peace. You surround yourself with people who see your value. You rise quietly. That is the loudest vengeance of all. Because silence is not empty. It's loaded with power. It forces your enemies to sit with their guilt. It denies them control. It ends the cycle of emotional warfare. When they can no longer manipulate your reaction, you become untouchable. You erase their influence, not by striking back, but by rising higher. You don't just defeat them, you outgrow them. You become unreachable. And let me make this clear. Revenge is not about hurting them back. That's the trap of the weak. Real revenge is ensuring they never have the power to hurt you again. It's building such a disciplined, purposeful, fulfilling life that their memory becomes irrelevant. A faded chapter, a ghost. When someone tries to destroy you and you respond with silence, it's not just resistance, it's dominance. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And this is the essence of Stoic revenge. Not to spiral, not to rant, not to broadcast your pain, but to transform it into fuel. To rise so high that you no longer need closure, explanation, or validation. Your silence becomes your shield. Your growth becomes your sword. Look at the world of fame. Look at the ones betrayed publicly. The strongest never beg for pity, never post endless words of rage. They vanish. Then months later they reappear, glowing, succeeding, radiant. And their silence echoes louder than 1,000 interviews. That is real dominance. That is how you crush without a word. You don't need to plot speeches. You don't need to seek revenge in shadows. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. You prove it by building yourself so powerfully that your enemies become irrelevant. You stop being part of their story, and they no longer exist in yours. And here's what most people forget. The universe has its own justice. The law of cause and effect spares no one. Those who thrive on hurting others eventually face consequences. They live trapped in patterns of betrayal, manipulation, and emptiness. While you rise, they remain stuck. While you build, they collapse. Your silence doesn't just crush them, it exposes them to themselves. So next time someone wounds you, walk away. Don't explain, don't argue, don't beg, don't fight. Vanish into your purpose. Invest your pain into progress. Let your discipline speak. Let your peace scream. Let your glow burn. That is the ultimate Stoic revenge. That is how you crush them, without saying a single word. Because the truth is, They never expected silence to be louder than rage. But when they see you again, when they witness what you've become, they'll realize your silence was never weakness. It was the sharpest weapon you ever carried. And it cut deeper than words ever could. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.